So first and foremost, man, burnout is not a failure. All right, that's not what that means. All right, burnout didn't come from a lack of passion. You still have the passion. What happens is sometimes when you do things for so long the same way with no result, you will get burnt out in the process. But it's either because your mindset hasn't adjusted to the longevity of how long is this may really take to get the result I really want. Like, did you just jump in and thinking you was about to get to it overnight or whatever? What? I don't know, but burnout, and I'm speaking how it affected me. It came from me not adjusting and not evolving as I went. Still doing the same thing, still going to all the showcases, still doing all the same stuff over and over and over again. And yes, that's consistent. You're supposed to do the same things over and over again. They're supposed to be repeatable, but only with the right mindset where you be successful at doing that. If you don't have the right mindset, trust me, boy, you been repeatable all you want, you're not gonna last. You're gonna get burnt out. I'm telling you. Like, your mindset have to be there to support that longevity. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times too is another reason you get burnt out is because you don't really have a structure. You need structure. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're an artist, you need to be putting, do your best to try to build a team. You got your homeboys, your homegirls, they support you. See if they want to work. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta, like in the beginning stages, you gonna wear all the hats. Be willing to work. Like, any business you get in, any industry you get in, you're gonna have to put in some work. But we talking about the music business. This is a business that's very saturated. This is a business that everybody wants to get in because it looks fun, and everybody, you got fans, and you know all the glitz and glamour of it, but you don't really understand or chose or failed to understand everything that went into it. And if you somebody who has understood and has done this on a high level and burnt out, well, guess what? For you, keep evolving, baby, to keep evolving. If this is the industry you want to stay in and you know your heart is here, then you need to do what it takes to evolve into a higher version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, we jump into stuff without really understanding everything is gonna take. We don't really jump into it with that longevity mindset. And if you've been in it for so long, you think like an old dog can't learn new tricks, or maybe you're just too comfortable in this, doing this thing you've been doing. That's why you burnt out. You know what I'm saying? That's why you burnt out. Like I said, you need structure. You need a team. You need a system in place, right? You need better time management skills. So like, maybe you burnt out because you in the studio all night. And then when you finally put out this record, you don't ain't no streams, nothing happening. So what I mean by time management, maybe don't spend every single day in the studio. Maybe you need to do 1 or 2 days, 8 to 10 hours in the studio, do a block, knock out a bunch of records, and then for the rest of the week, you need to be figuring out how you're gonna release these records and everything else that go along to it, not just recording music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta start putting your mindset in other places, other areas of the music. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I mean. You need a structure, because without that structure, you just all over the place. You're doing whatever need to be done in the moment. And it's like, with a structure in the system, you don't have to do that. You let the structure work for you. The structure is what's gonna keep you in line. All right. Creating, promoting, learning, paying, hoping, all at once. That will create a burnout. Like, you trying to do everything at once. Been there, done that. Yes, you have to wear all the hats, but you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do it all at once. 1 week, you need to be this hat. You need to be the artist and the producer this hat. That's fine. Bust out the records. That next week or that following week, you need to be the publisher. You need to be making sure all the administration is done. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Break it down. You don't have to do everything at one time. And because again, that's gonna lead to what? Burnout, right? And I'm just kind of going off my notes right here because I don't wanna, I got a habit of just over talking and talking in circles. So I ain't gonna do y'all like that today. And another thing that causes artists burnout is when the business is invisible. Like don't nobody see you. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody see you. And because nobody see you, you get tired of doing it because you need attention in this game. You need the attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need attention. And so what I really feel like is that burnout is usually a signal to change the strategy, man. Change the strategy, not your identity. Change the strategy. And what I mean by change, not your identity, not who you are, who the essence of you, your character, that doesn't change unless you got a terrible character. That needs to change. But like if you know you're a solid person, you know what I'm saying? It's really just the structure and the strategy that need to change and change that to relieve you from the burnout. Because if you have this in your heart to do, then do it. You know, the Lord may be bringing you to a certain place. He may be using this as a vehicle to bring you to a certain place within him. You know what I'm saying? And to touch other people. So I wouldn't quit if you just because you're burned out. You got to kind of reevaluate why you feel burned out. And these are just some of the common things that made me feel burned out. You know, I didn't have a strategy in place. I didn't have no structure. I'm just doing it just to be doing it. I was wearing all the hats. And I got burnt out. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, too, which I'm about to get into this in a second, being in a city like Atlanta, when you're not from Atlanta, could be hard trying to break into it because it could be very cliquish. Everybody know each other, right? Or like, even though I ain't from here now, I've been here with 18 years, 17, 18 years, so I know a lot of people now. And I can see from the time I first got here to the time now, it's much easier now because I know certain people, even though I'm not from here. But before, it was hard to rub elbows with the right people because I didn't know them. And to get to know them, you either had to kiss ass or pay them. And I wasn't kissing no ass, and I didn't even have the money to really pay these folks either. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to figure it out as I went, which lead me to how the moment I realized that the moment I realized where I needed to evolve. I didn't know I needed this at first, but I did this. And when I did this, it led me to where I am now, right? So a little background on me, I had been doing music since 15 years old. I got started, my neighbor across the hallway, you know, he caught himself rapping. I'm from Houston, man. All we did was freestyle, you know what I'm saying? But this dude, he really was cutting records, and he got me on writing and stuff like that. Ended up doing music, falling in love with it, and I stayed on it. That's the only thing I was doing. That's the only thing I ever been consistent with doing was putting out music, or at least writing music. And I was very, very serious about this. And so what happened is I finally moved to Atlanta, and I mean the first 2 years the first year I was taking care of my family and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like had a baby, new wife, and I was just trying to take care of the household. I wasn't outside for real. But when I finally started getting outside, like, and I started trying to do these shows and rub elbows, I realized how hard it was, right? And I didn't understand the business at all. I understood a little bit about the business because at that point I was writing notes, I was doing all kind of stuff. Like I wasn't. I wasn't. At this time I ain't know nothing about the business. I just knew how to rap, and you know what I'm saying, and what the song's supposed to sound like, but I ain't understand the business. And so I'm outside in Atlanta, rubbing elbows and trying to network, trying to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, and you know, just not getting nowhere. People shunning me off. You just another artist, you know, whoop-de-whoop, and they just shunning me off. And I got tired of that. I got tired of that. So what I did, I was like, man, how do I get these folks to talk to me? Cause I ain't no lame guy, you know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't about to come across like I'm a fan of you. Like I give you credit where it's due, but I ain't about to be like, oh, snap, oh, bro, oh, you such and such, right? Oh, what's up, bro? My name Mike. I ain't about to do all that. You feel me? It's not my style. And so, one thing I had to learn was when you trying to deal with somebody that's on another level than you, you have to come to them with value. It got to be a value trade. What are you gonna do for them? What can you do for them? Because a lot of times we always approaching people with our hand out like this. No, I'm not giving you nothing. You gonna pay me? You can pay me, and that's a lot of times that's what's happening. And when you don't have the money to pay people, you don't never get the result, right? So what that lead to? Burnout. And so I said to myself, I'm gonna find a way to make these folks talk to me. So what I did was I said, damn, I'm gonna act like I'm a manager. And I have an artist and I wanna network, woo-de-woo. So I started approaching people from a manager perspective. Hey, my name Mike, I'm a manager. I wanna work to see how we can work, woo-de-woo-de-woo. And they start opening up. Now I'm in a position to start exchanging numbers, stuff like that. At first, I wouldn't even really get no numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that light bulb rung in my mind. Like, damn, okay, this worked. Now they talking to me, right? Now they talking to me. So I did that. I finessed that a little while, maybe a couple months. And then I realized, well, dang, let me really try to get me an artist for real. Let me see, cause I'm only gonna finesse for so long. It's just like, nah, let me give me an artist for real. Let me kind of really see if I can make something shake with that. And so I did. Found me a little artist I was managing, and I started approaching people like that. But I also knew if I'm gonna be in a position like that, I had to know the business. I had to learn the business because I can't be managing somebody else's career and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't like to look like that. And so that forced me to I started getting books. I started, listening to people on the internet. I started like really taking notes and going in. I'm talking about I had binders full of music business notes and really like going in, learning, ordering books and learning. Like I can pull out books right now. I can pull out one of my first books. I had full of notes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop this in the video too, so you can see what I'm talking about. And I took it very serious, man, and I was going in. And then I started approaching people, with my newfound knowledge. Now I'm more confident because I'm understanding. And through that process, I realized I like being on the business side. I like being able to push the buttons on somebody's career. I like to see these artists go from nothing to something. You know what I'm saying? I like being able to be in the mix and managing the situation and people having to come to me to get to my artists. I like the thought of that. I love, because I knew my integrity and my heart was in the right place. So I love the fact that you can't go straight to my artist. You know what I'm saying? Like that put me in a boss mood. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, damn, I wouldn't get none of this when I was an artist. So I stayed on the business side for some time, right? Now I didn't start writing. But at the time, I didn't know how to juggle being an artist and being a businessman because it's hard. It's like two different mindsets. It's like, and I know this because, of course, I was doing it. It's like, damn, I spend all day writing music or recording, then I gotta turn that creative side of my brain off to get technical. And I'm like, damn, it's very hard to do. And so it was just easier for me to stay on the business side and kind of put my mindset and energy into that, and which I did. And so I stayed there, right? So the more you learn, the more you earn. That is not a slogan, it's math. So what I mean by that is the more you learn, the more you know how and what to charge people for. You know what I'm saying? You understand something that they don't. Now that puts you as an authority, someone of authority in that lane, and people will pay you for your information. They pay you for your knowledge, or they look upon you as somebody credible. So This is why learning the business changes everything. You know what I'm saying? This puts you in a different category, in a different lane. So please, guys, do not sleep on learning this music business if you in it. I don't care if you are the creator, learn the business, even for yourself. Because if you're an artist and you understand the business, now can't nobody finesse you. Can't no manager come finesse you. Can't nobody, no exec come finesse you. You know, because you understand a good bit of the business. You not understanding everything, but you understand a good bit of it to know what's not really accurate, or maybe that could be accurate. You know what I'm saying? But like, at least you're not going in there blind at all. Business knowledge turns guesses into decisions because you understand the knowledge of the business. You don't have to be indecisive. You can make sound decisions. You don't have to guess. You can make sound decisions because you understand what a performance royalty is. You understand what a mechanical royalty is. You know what I'm saying? You understand what master ownership mean. You know what I'm saying? So you understand what a term in an agreement mean. Because like, so now you can make sound decisions for not only yourself, but for your clients and your artists. Knowing the rules reduces anxiety. Man, I'm telling you, that's so true. When you know the rules and you know how it works, it reduces so much anxiety, bro. It reduces so much. Because when you don't know and you put in situations where people assume you know, and they coming at you information that can not only impact you, but impact your client or your artist, you're responsible for that. You're responsible for the success of your client or your artist. You know what I'm saying? Or yourself, if you're doing everything yourself. You're responsible for that, man. So come on. Knowing the rules reduces anxiety. Oh, I said that already, right? Clarity creates stamina. Man, that's so true. You can let you last longer when you have clarity in what you're doing. You can go the long haul. If you understand, okay, let's just say you're an artist and you're trying to stay independent. You don't want no deal, right? You just want to stay independent. You want a budget. You want to be able to leverage maybe a JV, a partnership or something with a company. Because you understand how JVs work. You have clarity on what you desire. That is what's going to give you the stamina. That's what's going to give you the long game. You could be like, okay, they want to advance me 150 to my company under a JV. Cool. They can advance me to 150. You can do the numbers to see how long it possibly may take to pay that back to them. Which is cool, because now you understand how to do the numbers. You understand, okay, damn, this don't make sense. This deal is, maybe that's too much in them advance. You don't want all that. Because why? You have clarity. All right, so man, that's why learning the business changes everything. So the more you learn, the more you earn. Please, guys, do not sleep. All right, now let's talk about evolving into a higher version of yourself. This is not just in your career. This is in your personal life too, right? I was doing so much things, like, okay, for example, so I was married at first. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was married. I couldn't do music for real because I had to get a job. We just moved to Atlanta. We ain't had no crib. I had to hustle for the crib, for the car. The music had to be put on the back burner because it won't pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when I got that situated, I was able to get back into music. And over time, I was able to evolve because I stayed consistent in the music, right? Growth forces identity friction. Let me say that again. Growth forces identity friction. And what I mean by that is when you start to growing, that old you becomes smaller. And sometimes what we tend to do is trying to hold on to our old self. When a lot of times we need to let it go. And because we have not let it go, that's what's causing friction. It's causing friction with your new identity. So for example, I used to smoke weed, right? I used to smoke like a train. I used to be outside high. I used to really lock in. When I write my music, boy, I go in the closet with my headphones, boy. I'm high as a kite, boy. Oh man, the best music I done wrote. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, I'll be high and I'll be outside. Like when I start managing, I'll be high and I'll be outside. And I'll be just super quiet. People be like, hey, Mike, you good, bro? What's wrong? You good? And it's nothing wrong with me. I'm just high. I'm high. I'm not as effective. I'm not as sharp. I'm not as productive. You know what I'm saying? It's all because I'm high. And so that new version of me, that higher version of me had to force that old identity out of me. I can't be outside high, bro. Now, so I stopped smoking when I was going out, and I would only smoke when I stayed in the house, and I ain't had no business to handle, because that changed the way, how fast, how urgent, how effective I was going to work. And so I would smoke when I had nothing to do, and eventually, because I always felt like I had something to do, the weed just kind of phased out, and I just didn't have the urge to really smoke. And so when I did smoke, I just smoked on my own terms, not because I wanted, like, not because I feel like I needed to write a song, or I needed it to be this way or whatever. It was no need attached to it, you know what I'm saying? And it completely changed my whole identity when I was outside, because now I'm not high and quiet. I'm very extroverted. I don't mind talking to people. I don't mind, I'm sharp on my business. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not stumbling over my words. I'm boom, boom, bam. You know what I'm saying? And so, but this was because I reached a new version of myself, okay? So the version of you that starts isn't the version that scales. And a lot of y'all be trying to make that version that started, you be trying to make that same version of yourself scale. It's like, no, let it go. Let the old version go. Let's scale to something new. You feel me? And a lot of times y'all experiencing burnout because you hold on to the same person you've always been. The same people you always hung with. The same girls you done been dealing with. The same dudes you've been talking to and dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to switch up your circles. Switch up everything. And because you got to get out of this mental rut. It's like this rut where you just be locked in your thoughts, and you don't feel like doing nothing, and it's just all kind of stuff, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm speaking out of experience. And so I say all that to say is, you don't have to outgrow your music, but you will outgrow the way you approach it, and that's fine. That's what I did. It worked. I outgrew the way I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? And found a new way to approach it. And seasons gonna constantly change, and they change for a reason. Everything that has an ending date. That's Bible. Everything good comes to an end. You start something new. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you outgrow your old self, become somebody new that's gonna put you on some new stuff. You know what I'm saying? You do those new things to get new results. Come on, man, let go. Staying the same would have been a disobedience to growth. Anytime you stay the same, you force yourself to stay the same, you really disobeying your growth. You disobeying your growth. You only hindering yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you keep feeling burned out. You're not doing nothing different to get different results. Boy, you're insane. You're insane. Don't do that. Come on, let's do something new. Let's start something new. You know what I'm saying? The artist versus exec conflict. Let's talk about this, right? Because I know a lot of y'all gonna experience this too. So when I switched to the business side of music, I'm still a rapper in my heart, right? I still want to do the same things I was doing as an artist. But then it came a point where I felt like my authority as an exec would be diluted because I'm too busy trying to be a rapper. And being on the business side as heavy as I am now, I question, and I'm speaking from a position, I'm speaking about artists or creators who has not became established as a creator yet. Okay, so let me be clear. If you are an artist who have kind of made it or kind of made it, and people know you really well as an artist, it's easier to switch to business from that perspective versus nobody knows you yet, and they trying to follow your identity, the person you present yourself as. Then when you show them something different, it gives them a different version of you, a different opinion of you. You know what I'm saying? And so versus they already knowing you, a version of you, now when they see this other version of you, it's more of a growth perspective versus, what are you? Are you an artist or you the businessman? What are you? You know, it's just a conflict of interest almost. And I mean, some of y'all may disagree. That's what I felt, and that's what I've seen. That's what I witnessed doing, being on this business side and dealing with artists that has artists. I'm talking about, I'm dealing with artists who ain't made it. They ain't making no money. They may have a little clout, a little bit, but then they sign all these artists to them, and it's like they won't come talk business, but they business not even together. It's a hot mess. Don't be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Establish yourself in one lane first, and then you switch. So even for the business, right? Let's just say, cause I'm an exec now, right? So my transition from here, cause I'm 35, 36 years now, from whatever time you're watching this video, my transition wouldn't be into artistry, because now I would be looking like a brand new artist, which means I got to package myself as a new artist. I got to give energy to my music as a new artist. I got to give energy to the promotion as a new artist, and I ain't got time for all that. My transition to keep me at a CEO level would be like a DJ Khaled position, where I'm putting records together and slapping my name on them, but it's other artists that's actually performing and all I'm doing is hosting the record. I can do that all day, you know what I'm saying? But that works for me. So that's a strategic step. That's a strategic transition for me as an emerging exec. You know what I'm saying? As an exec that people know me to be as an exec. Everybody that know me as exec don't even know I did music, because I don't put out. I ain't rep myself as no artist long enough or strong enough for them to even know me as an artist. You know what I'm saying? They always know me from having artists. And so for me to be an artist now would have to be very strategic. So I would be an artist, and from that standpoint, from somebody who was executive producing, to keep me at a CEO level. So the artist versus exec conflict, right? Authority. So this is what y'all got to be careful of, right? Let's just say you an emerging artist like I was, and you trying to do both. You trying to be the businessman and the artist. You have to, the reason it's important for you to establish a lane is because if not, your authority as an exec will dilute. They're not gonna really take you serious, because you still trying to do what your artist is doing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to handle the business and make sure that they good. You haven't even established yourself as an artist yet to even make yourself credible enough for us to pay attention to you as an exec and respect you as a CEO with artists signed to you. It's levels to it, and sometimes I feel like we really jumped the gun with this. You know what I'm saying? So don't. So you will dilute your authority. Even if I was to jump to be a rapper now, it's like, damn, Mike, you a pre-law student to be an entertainment attorney. You a music publisher, and all of a sudden I'm jumping out in videos as a rapper. It just don't really, it don't line up. Brand identity don't line up. All right, if you almost 40 years old plus, and you re-emerging as an artist, what I mean by like you brand new, you know what I'm saying? You don't have no proof of your artistry for real, and you just new to the whole scene as an artist. That may not be the best move for you. That may not be the best move. I would say if you're gonna pick a lane, if you're gonna work that lane, if you're gonna be in that lane as an artist, I would recommend you to, of course, write music, but don't be so quick to put out your own records. Like, pitch your records to other artists. You know, go into that songwriting lane. You know what I'm saying? You want your songs respected and listened to. You don't want them to sit and people look at you like, oh, this old, I ain't listening to them. You just not starting to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, pitch your songs. Like, put these songs together for other artists. That's a lane you can, and then through that, you'll get paid and still get recognized as a songwriter. Boom, and when you start to get credibility, then you start dropping your own music again. You know what I'm saying? But don't completely neglect writing for the artists just because you so busy want to be an artist yourself. Because you have to understand the trend of the industry. The industry like young artists. They're like young artists, 17, 18, 19, whatever. Young, get them young because they can invest into them longer. They can get them longer terms, bigger advances and stuff because they can keep them longer. I mean, it's 2026, man. So It's a lot of new music dropping every day. So I'm not saying don't drop your music. By all means, drop your music because it's enough to go around. But at the same time, your long game need to be strategic. All right, so be strategic with your long game. Don't think, oh, I'm about to drop a record, get famous, sign a big record deal, and you 45. Boy, them folks ain't trying to hear that. You better off starting a label, signing artists to your label, and dropping your music under your label. So if your song do take off, now you can go do a JV deal with a label. They gonna sign your whole label because you got artists. You know, your song was just to break the ice. They ain't investing into you. Let them invest into your company and to these other young artists. That's the cheat code. All right. Cause bottom line, man, the hard truth is that some doors close not because you failed, but because you guarding what you've built. You know what I'm saying? Like you guarding it. Like stop guarding it. Stop guarding everything you done built. You know what I'm saying? Your music not trash. You just need to be more strategic. You know what I'm saying? Like stop guarding it so close. Let people see what you got going on. Expand, evolve. You feel me? So here's my encouragement to you. You made it this far in this business. I mean, in this video, you did well. I'm a lone talker now. So, you know, just so y'all know, all my videos pretty much, unless you watch my shorts, I'm probably gonna talk your ear out because I want you to make sure you're getting this information, man. Here's my encouragement for you. Just because you tired, that don't mean stop. Okay? If you burnt out, that don't mean quit. Just adjust. All right? Adjust. Again, like we talked about in the earlier, structure, strategy. You got to get new structure, new strategy that's going to kill the burnout. All right? Simplify, man. Like, stop trying to, I know you got to wear all the hats, but simplify as much as possible. Stop trying to get everything done at once. Break your work week down into weeks and days. Stop trying to get everything done in one day. You need help. Get you a little team. Get you some. That's what I'm saying. If you a 40, 45, 50-year-old artist, bruh, and you still trying to do this the way you've been doing it, no. Do it from a CEO standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Where you got a team and it's gonna be easier to get help. Cause now you hiring people to help your company. And through that, your music benefits. You feel me? So come on, strategic. Learn the business or partner with someone who live there already. I'm on the business side. I'm someone you should be partnering with. You know what I'm saying? Why you trying to worry about registering all your songs when you can partner with me and let us do that for you? You know what I'm saying? Be strategic. So if you still on this journey, man, if you still on this journey, but you have not made it, you don't have to guess anymore. Get with me. I have community you can join. You can partner with Incorporated Group, and we can handle all your publishing administration for you just to make sure you're getting paid, your label's being paid properly, and everything is the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because as a music publishing company, we don't get paid until you get paid. If the song don't make money, we don't make money. A music publisher manages the catalogs. We manage the rights to your music. All right? So there's ways we can skin the cat. Strategy, guys. Strategy. All right, that alone changes everything, man. So you don't have to feel burnt out. You don't have to quit. Stay in the game. If you need more tips like this, if you need more advice like this, comment below. Let's lock in. My information for my community is below. You need any help? We got digital products available. Everything that you need to jumpstart the right way or to keep you going the right way. Hey, man, I'm signing off. Share this to somebody you know in the music business. Hey.